Everyone, I'm Franklin.
And I'm Matt. Has anyone ever told you they liked what you played on Sunday morning? Or has anyone ever told you they hated what you played on Sunday morning? This episode's for you. All right, so today's episode is about praise and criticism. For really more centered towards music in the church. So I'm going to look at kind of four angles. I'm going to talk about getting praise, how to handle it.
Yep.
Giving praise, how to do it. Getting criticism, how to handle it. And giving criticism, how to do it. Because there's a way to, I know.
The hard ones. Hard episode today.
So let's talk about the easiest one, getting praise, right?
Getting praise.
Franklin, you do a great job on Sunday mornings playing the piano.
Oh, I know. Thank you. That's not how you do it, okay?
That's how he always says it.
Only to Matt.
Yeah.
Anybody else? No, it's like, thank you. Glad you're here. Glad you're worshiping with us. And then, continue conversation. If they're continuing, you continue, And,
Yep.
I don't know, Matt, well, how would you take that? Matt, you did an awesome job playing that lead line.
I appreciate it. Everything comes from him, so it didn't start here. See how easy that was? No, but seriously, there's nothing wrong with people enjoying what you played. It's an artistic expression of worship. There's nothing wrong with somebody enjoying it and saying, "Hey, you did a great job." As long as your immediate reaction isn't, "I know I did," like Franklin did the first time. Getting praise is easy, but in doing it gracefully, is always just thank you. If you get the opportunity to say, thank you, he's awesome, or did it all for him. However, that can be turned around to kind of lead back to the fact that, because you don't want anybody's perception of you to be that you think you're the jam.
Yeah, you gotta make sure that they know all you are is just hands and feet, and it all points back. Everything points back around. Your whole life points back. You're playing guitar, drums, keys.
So there's nothing wrong with being good and doing things that, to give your best to God. And sometimes people really enjoy that, and that's fine. That's great. It's always handled with a level of grace, and really it's an opportunity to kind of check yourself. If somebody gives you praise and you walk around thinking, "I nailed that," you're right. Then that should be that little light that's like, too much of me here. Yeah,
too much. That who gave you the ability? Who gave you the talent? You have to think about. Oh man, yeah. Oh man, that was a great worship. That was, and it's like. God, you're so good. Like, who gave it? You gotta remember to go back around.
Yep, and you're not going to be 100% of this all the time. I know what we're calling. I said what like 15 times. What we're calling you guys to do is almost impossible to continue to obtain. I mean, we're talking about being totally selfless in worship, and as people, we're going to get in our own way, and it's going to happen. But as long as you get in that mindset where you can check it and return, sneeze off camera.
Bless you.
As long as you can check it and return, back to knowing whose you are and who you're doing it for, then it's you're in a good place.
Yeah. I agree.
Man, that felt like I got hit by a baseball. So, on the flip side of that, let's look at giving praise. Is it okay after a service for me to tell Franklin that he nailed a piano solo?
I don't think so. I'll take it all the time. Thank you, Matt. Come on, keep it going.
Yeah,
that's not how you do it. Again. I'm going with examples first of what not to do. It's just
the whole point of it is love. You know, if I tell Franklin that he played something well, there's nothing wrong with me enjoying what Franklin did artistically. And telling him that it was a great thing, because a lot of times in those moments when he does something like that, it builds a song and it helps me worship more through the experience. So, you know, it always done in love, never to blow somebody up, but to encourage and to, you know, to get behind your fellow band members. So
yeah, that was a great word, encourage.
Yeah,
that's just sometimes that's what makes a difference. It's just, you know, you're like, dude. I mean, even when with the worship leader, man, he's a great encourager. Like man. Sometimes I'm like, I am not hitting it today, but sometimes there's some parts where I'm just like, okay, but I have to check myself too. That's the biggest thing. You always have to check yourself when you're playing, and it's like, okay, I got this part, and then he'll bring in encouragement and say, hey, great job this time. Because there was one time, very first time I played with you guys, I'm bringing it back up. First time I played with him ever, one of the piano songs, Steel by Hillsong. Oh, I got tore up. I didn't know it at all. I knew it, but I only played it, practiced it like once.
Do you know how
twice.
the intro goes right now?
No.
There we go.
Yeah, but I did not remember it at all. And then the next time we played it again, I remembered it. And of course, came encouragement and thus that to me made me feel that made me in a sense know that I am an asset to the team, an asset to this group, and thus in a sense I was worshiping through that. I gave it my all, practiced again and again until I knew it the second time I played it, and then, you know, Eric, our worship leader, reaffirmed that. And just, that's the thing. It's encouragement. It's beautiful.
In truth be told about Eric, he also threatened your life if you messed it up again.
He did, but that's Eric for you.
That's part of it. No. But yeah, that's an important, it's huge. You know, the encouragement of your team members to let everybody know that this is a worship team. And I also think one of the best compliments, best praise you can give. I mean, not that it's wrong to comment specifically on somebody's playing or singing, but you know, to say, hey, you know, you really worship today. I don't remember exactly where I was, but my wife and I were singing. It was at Earl Church. My wife and I were singing, and there's another guy. His name was Luke. That was playing acoustic just by himself and singing. And you know, we were all having a good time, but this guy really got into it. And it resonated with me very well. And afterwards, I went up to him and said, hey, man, look, the rest of us, we played music and we worshiped, but you showed up and we all worshiped. And that's a huge compliment to give to somebody, especially on a worship team, that, you know, hey, I felt your worship from where I was. So go that route too. If you're giving praise to somebody touches you that way, let them know there's nothing wrong with letting them know.
Do it.
Yeah, do it. So now let's talk about criticism. Let's talk about getting criticism first, because that's easier than giving it properly.
Giving it, yeah.
Has anybody ever given you criticism in the church? Sometimes it's underhanded, backhanded. They'll tell somebody else, it tells you, kind of thing. And that's not appropriate. But
no, I'm trying to think of any type of.
Let's not name names.
Yeah. I'm never gonna name a name, but it is. I'm sure it's more of a backhand. It's more of a. I know for sure it is more of a. Yeah, you did good, but you know.
Yeah, I wish you'd done this.
Yeah.
I saw on the internet not too long ago where somebody, and this was in Gear Talk for all of you out there, somebody took a church comment card and filled it out about how the music was too loud and inappropriate and some other things and left that in the comment tray. And so, I mean, to get something like that and be like, man, we're trying our best every week, and this person just doesn't appreciate it. How do you handle that? Do you go and you grab them and you beat them up as a group? You get the whole team together?
No.
I know that's what we want to do. I would say this. Anytime somebody has a criticism of what you're doing, you shouldn't retaliate. You shouldn't immediately say, well, that's not true. Or we've got the Holy Spirit and the love of Christ with us. You have to look at it, I feel like, as an opportunity.
Yeah. Opportunity.
This person's telling you what's on their heart, and what's on people's hearts is not always black or white, true or false. Sometimes it's perception. So in that case, that gives you an opportunity to see, well, how is something I've done or sang or something we've played, how is it perceived? Whether it's right or wrong is unimportant. It's how it's perceived. And it gives you the opportunity to maybe see some things a little differently. Maybe there are some things that you can do better, or some things that you can change. And so it gives you the opportunity to actually listen to this person, tell them you appreciate that, by the way. Maybe there is something that can be done. Again, whether they're right or wrong is unimportant, but it gives you the opportunity to grow and to see kind of what the perception is. There's not a whole lot of other way to say it.
Yeah, no, that's, to me, I think that's the best way to go about it. Take it as, okay, thank you for that, and I will, grow, or I will take that and, see what I can change. If that is where God really is leading you, if you know that you worship to the best of your ability, and you know you knew your part inside and out 100%, and yet something didn't feel right with them, just thank you for that, and God bless. Just move on. Just move on. It's okay.
And here's the other thing, too. Sometimes in those situations, there are times that the other person is just wrong, or their perception is totally wrong. And you can pray about it and think about it and change it as much as you want, but it's not going to fix the situation. And those situations are much more difficult. But as long as you put in your effort, your all, to make sure that you're not jumping back at this person, but that you honestly use it as a tool to better yourself in any way possible, in the end, somehow you always seem to come out on top. God kind of takes care of those situations when you are following Him the way you're supposed to, and your log in your eye's not there. Somehow those things always work out.
Oh yeah, God will. It'll work out. It'll always work out. Yep.
And it's one of those things that's almost coincidental. It's like, oh, God will take care of this. Sometimes He does. What if it leads to a big rift, and all of a sudden now there's a church split and some other things happen or whatever? God uses all things to His glory and for His good. So if that's what happens, maybe it was time for some people to go somewhere else. It doesn't mean that God's not sovereign.
Oh yeah, no, God's sovereign over 100%.
And now, the coup de grace, giving criticism as a Christian. Can you give criticism to someone else as a musician or as a worshiper in a correct manner?
I believe so.
Yep. You can.
I believe so. 100%. Here's the thing.
Oh, he's done
I know. Here's the thing, okay? You have hopefully built that relationship. You've grown that relationship. You've grown as a team. You're maybe not part of the worship team, but you've grown as a friend, as a Christian, as a brother and sister in Christ. It's okay to say, hey, you didn't do so hot that time. But you always have, to me, I would say, you always at least have a suggestion, or, hey, you need to practice. There's always something that, but then yet, do you always bring it back around and say, but here, you did great in this. You did great in this. But here's this. And then you bring it back all the way around. I love you. It's okay. I don't know.
It's all about love and encouragement. We're going to bring encouragement back up. Mm-hmm. If you're going to criticize, and I wouldn't necessarily call it criticizing at this point because you kind of turn into something else. But if you're going to give some not so great news to someone on the team, it's about loving them, and it's always to further them and to encourage them and to watch them grow. It's about you loving them enough to push a little harder. Never to tear down. Never to tear down. If somebody just didn't practice and they stunk it up one day, it's not appropriate to pull them aside and say, "What's wrong with you? Get it together." But to say, "Hey, it wasn't as good as I've heard. I've heard you do better. Is there something I can do to help? Maybe there's something going on in your life that we can pray for you about that you didn't have time to do this." And as a Christian musician, you should be open also to taking that kind of criticism, because if somebody perceives it about you, it may be true.
Yep.
If Franklin turns to me, if I'm doubling a piano part with him and he says, "Hey, let's just do piano in that part," because he wants to keep it quiet, I'm not going to get offended. Franklin is a wonderful musician and arranger as far as music goes, and his opinion is extremely valid. So, you best be straight. I'm not going to play on that part. And that's the way it should go. That if you're giving the criticism, it's about love and encouragement. It's about wanting to see that person do more and be all they can be.
Oh yeah.
In a worship context.
Yeah, and it's the thing that when you all are in sync, when you all give your all, it's 100%. You're able to you feel it. You feel the worship, and you know when it stops. You know the hits. You know chords. Boom. Oh,
without practicing them.
Without practicing them.
The episode with Kyle, that happens all the time.
We do that. It's so beautiful, and it's okay to criticize. It's okay to say, "Hey," in a sense, it is criticism. It's a constructive criticism.
There we go.
That's the word. Constructive criticism. Say, "Hey, you gotta do this.
Step it up a notch now."
It's so good. It's just good. It's so good.
Yeah, and that's the cool thing too, is that as you're a worship team, which we've talked about, you earn the right in each other's lives to do that. And once you're at a comfort level like that with your other team members, that kind of healthy back and forth can happen. Both getting and giving praise and criticism, and it can help build a stronger relationship between everybody.
Oh, we get it all the time from Eric.
Yeah.
But it's great. It's all in fun. But then we know that he's a strong leader, and we follow him, and he gives us the ability to lead, and us the ability to grow as a Christian, as a worship musician.
And he wants us to sound the best we can because it makes him sound awesome.
Yes.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching this episode. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and come back next week for the season 1 finale. That's right. We are going to end the season and take a short break, and we'll be back after that. A little bit different setup, kind of change up the formula a little bit. Probably do some topics that are going to make some people mad and make some people happy. I don't know why I'm doing this, but we'll see you next episode. Thank you guys so much for watching.